My name is Bini Sebastian, and I am a PhD student in counseling psychology at Mizzou. I am out there with my art. My identity is out there, my spirituality is out there, and I'm just very vulnerable with what I put in my art. So it doesn't take a long time for people to see my art and for them to think they know me. Growing up, I did not know who I was, and as an artist, I was just like this lost little Indian kid. People could tell that I had a talent here, like a skill here. But whenever I would go back home and show my drawings to my parents, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, nice. Okay, what'd you get on your test that you did yesterday?" You know. I had an art show several months ago, and they came up to Columbia to see me. I could tell that they were like, "Why are you not focused on your PhD right now?" You know, like, "Why are you doing this art show?" And they were like really surprised and proud of like the turnout. And so they were like, "Oh, maybe like our daughter does have, something going on here, you know?" And I think that they kind of expected my brother to be the more artsy one and the more creative one, and me to be more like the studious one. And that totally flipped. And they were just like, "Oh, what do we do with this child?" It's been hard for them to kind of accept and embrace and encourage me in my art. I think my art has been like a way for me to like rebel against my parents in like a lot of ways. But then also, when I started drawing more Indian women and people from my cultural background, that's when they can connect with my art as well. So it's like been a way for me to connect with them. Being a PhD student, but then being an artist on the side kind of scares them a little bit. I think my whole life I've just heard them say, "You have to have money to be happy. You have to have money to be happy." And I used to get angry and sad hearing that, like, "You don't value my art." But now I understand, like, oh, okay, that's how y'all were conditioned. It makes sense that this would scare you. And let me just throw this PhD in, just to make you happy, which is just so funny now that I say it out loud. There is one piece of me, it's a self-portrait, where I'm like looking up, and there are these two different sides of me. There's like this black and white academic side of me, and there's like rulers and question marks, and it's like the logical analytical part of me, like research focused, part of me. And then on the right side, there's like, it's kind of chaotic. It's like the artistic side of me. So like little dancing, hearts, music, a huge hole in the earth. Most of my face is colored in that, except like the top corner, which is still black and white. And I drew it because I felt 2 years into graduate school that academic side was just taking over and kind of killing my artistic side. And I felt it kind of take over. And then when I realized that, I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that because that's not feeding my soul. My cousin actually told me, "I can feel what you were feeling in this portrait," and I just remember thinking, yeah, that's what I want people to like tap into. There's like a sense of grounding and like calmness and hope in a lot of my pieces, like a real beauty. Like the only reason why I can create this piece is because I was in the dark tunnel and I was able to get out. Otherwise, if I didn't get out of that dark tunnel, then I would not have been able to create this piece. My ex-boyfriend passed away in December of 2019, and so a lot of my artwork revolved around like love and beings on earth, making love to or loving on or being loved by beings outside of earth or like beyond this lifetime. So like this like nature goddess woman interacting with this celestial kind of galaxy being. And so yeah, I did a lot of portraits or like pieces on love and grief and death around that time. These days, I love doing sacred geometry. I think it just allows me to, one, kind of play around with like abstract art, and then also with the sacred geometry, I'm literally drawing geometrical shapes, and so I have to get into like this meditative space where I'm just like super focused on making sure that all the lines look clean. And I just love how it's a meditative practice, so I'm getting like two benefits. One, I'm painting, but then also just entering like a flow state. Like a grayish black.